These are my top 5 reasons why I'm not sending in my 9.8s for CGC's 9.9 Prescreen. Number 5, the 9.9 grade shouldn't even exist. And that's my opinion. Because in my case, I think that, shocker, we should be consistent across the increments that we grade our comic books. So, for example, CGC uses increments of 0.5 up until 9.0. So if you send a book off to CGC, they'll encapsulate your book and slap a grade on it based on the condition of your overall book. And they'll go from no grade, which is essentially a 0, and then start increments of 0.5. So 0.5, 1, 1.5, etc., all the way to 9. And then once you get to 9, then they start going by increments of 0.2. So 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. And then randomly and inconsistently, they throw in 9.9 between 9.8 and 10. So I think it's completely inconsistent. This is the reason I don't think that 1.8 grades should exist, because randomly we have a 1.8 that exists between 1.5 and 2. CGC, what are you doing? I do not understand. So I think that for the integrity of the grading system as a whole, it should be the same increments across the board. I learned very early on in statistics class, like when you take a survey, if you have like, how much do you agree with this statement? And you have like 3 answers that I agree, somewhat agree, I really agree, and then 1 I disagree. You have 3 agrees and 1 disagree. Your survey is bupkis. You can't use that survey because there's no integrity in it. Because you need to have at least a 50-50 split, like somewhat agree, somewhat disagree, strongly disagree. So it needs to be consistent. So same thing with the grading. The other reason I don't think the 9.9 grade should exist is, like, how can you really tell a difference between a 9.8, a 9.9, and a 10? Like, please tell me what that looks like, because apparently a 9.9 can have spine ticks. Looking at you, Giant Size X-Men #1. 9.9, we get 9.6s all the time. Raise your hands out there if you've gotten a 9.6 from CGC with no grader notes. So apparently they found nothing wrong with that book, but they still graded it a 9.6. Make sense. But, with books like this, so this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4. This is the 4th issue ever of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is at a 9.8 white pages. And this is a wraparound cover, so the front art wraps around to the back side. And, in a book like this, which granted this is a larger issue, it's more magazine size than a regular comic book size. But in a book, look at the size of a comic book, and then just think to yourself, with the front cover, the back cover, what exactly imperfection disqualifies, is there discrepancy between a 9.9 and a 9.8, or a 9.9 and a 10? A fleck of dust? Like, what? Make it make sense. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense that grade even exists. And I don't think it should, for the integrity of the grading system, because it practically, I don't know how on earth you could even assign a book. What is 0.1 difference? How is that even distinguished in the book? But also because it hurts the value of 9.8s, which I think is, very valuable to the marketplace. Yeah, for all those reasons, I don't think that, we should even have 9.9s to begin with. Now, number 4 might be my favorite, even though it is number 4 on the list, and that is because I do not trust CGC, aka Sleazy C, my affectionate name for them. Now, I've had lots of experiences with CGC, and I had a really bad one in particular that I've lost all faith in the company, and so I don't submit books anymore through them. You can check out the link above to check out that video. But yeah, I don't trust CGC, not just because of my own experience, which of course I understand is subjective. I also don't trust them because of the issues that the company's been having. Let's be real. The Reholdergate scam, ridiculous, right? So if you don't know about the scam, basically there was someone who found a way to crack open the plastic, case that these books come in, and they were able to slip in different books into the case that are in worse condition. For example, they they would slip in a Hulk 181. That's a book that's the first Wolverine. That's a very valuable book. And that had a Marvel value stamp, or basically a coupon that was on the inside of the book. And as kids, people would, cut them out and send them in, of course. So those books would be considered qualified or get a green label because there's a piece of the book missing, piece of the interior. So this person would crack the case, or basically open the case without damaging it, slip the book out that has the actual grade and is complete, and slip in a Hulk 181 that's not complete and is way less valuable, and would sell them as if they were the original copy. Now, if that doesn't scare you, it should scare you that they did this for years and did, at least 350 books that CGC will tell us that they know about. So, yikes, big problem. And not only that, we found out right after that there was another scandal where there were 2 employees at CGC who were basically had access to printing labels and were switching labels out incorrectly and upgrading copies, saying, oh, so let's say this was like a 9.0, and they would print off a 9.8 label and sell it on eBay. Or they would steal books from people who were submitting them in, and because and CGC was complaining they were getting lost, which they were just getting stolen by this couple. So CGC has since submitted lawsuits against these people, but that doesn't inspire confidence in me. And what doesn't inspire confidence with me even more so is that they have at least publicly stated at the panel at MegaCon that they were not considering any changes in their reholder into their holder, which is the problem with the reholder gate, was the holder was compromised. So they don't even make adjustments to their holder when, or at least they claim they're not going to make any changes to their holder when their holder was a problem and caused a big scandal. So yeah, do I trust CGC with my books anymore? No, I don't. So for that reason, I'm a big anti send your book in for a 9.9 Prescreen. And again, you can check out my experience on my personal, what happened with me and why I don't trust them anymore. But I just don't trust CGC with my books at all anymore. And I forgot to mention that one of my subscribers, or one of my viewers, Kirok 2005, mentioned that CGC has been damaging some of his books recently because there's been warping to the inner well, which, for those of you that don't know, the inner well, there's an outer plastic covering to the graded book, but there's also an inner plastic cover that's called the inner well that goes around the comic book itself. It's kind of like a sleeve. And so Kirok 2005 said that his books that he's getting back have been warped and are damaging the books inside the case. And he also even mentioned another user that allegedly was having the same problems. Make Room Collectibles, I believe was the name. So yeah, it's not just that they have been having these scandals. It seems like there are also other issues at work as well that are more recent. So yeah, for all those reasons, I do not trust CGC, and I wouldn't send my books in for a 9.9 Prescreen. And number 3 might be the one that I'm most fired up about, and that's that it's completely unethical. We already sent our books in. We paid the money. We waited the time. We were trusting you to grade the comic accurately the first time. And if it was a 9.9, why didn't it get a 9.9 the first time when we paid you for that service? Right? Anyone out there feel the same way? I think it's completely unethical that CGC is now asking you to not only wait more time and send the book back to them to get the 9, see if you can get a 9.9, but you're paying again. If they really acknowledged, which I think they rightfully did acknowledge, that they have just basically automatically giving 9.8s out when they're not, and not really distinguishing when they should be, well then offer to get the books that you think would be, or offer free service, or do something ethical with it. Don't say, well, we basically weren't doing our job, and so it's your fault, or it's our fault, but you're gonna have to pay for it. What kind of message is that, CGC? Again, reason I call them affectionately sleazy. I just think that's so sleazy. I paid you for the service and you didn't do it right the first time, and somehow I'm supposed to pay you again and trust that you're going to do this service right this time? Yeah, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. So I just think it's completely unethical what CGC is doing. And I think overall it's just a money grab. They just, you know, obviously there's a finite number of comic books. And as more and more books get graded like this, I realized I didn't mention what this book was. This is an Amazing Spider-Man 361. This is the first appearance of Venom. It's in a newsstand edition. I said first appearance of Venom, didn't I? Carnage, first appearance of Carnage. So as more and more books get graded, CGC's got to find a way to make revenue, to make more money. Now, yeah, modern books keep getting printed, but we all know that modern books are, not as likely to be slabbed because there's not as much value in modern books. The value in most books is their age and their significance over time to the culture. So there's not going to be as many people grading, and let's say even if they are grading in volume, right? There's still lots of modern books getting graded. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be making as much money per book as they are on bigger books like this, Silver Age and the Golden Age, because they get 4%, right, rather than just getting a flat rate on modern books. So yeah, they're looking for a way to increase their revenue, in my opinion, for sure. The other reason I think they announced 9.9 Prescreen is to get the negative PR off of their back. All these reholder scams and issues. Surprisingly, we're going to announce 9.9 Prescreen now. Yay! Pay attention over here. Look over here. Look over here. Don't look over here. Don't look at the bad stuff. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The great sleazy C has spoken. Right? So, yeah, I just think the timing of the announcement, suspect in my book. But overall, the whole thing just reeks to me that it's completely unethical, and CGC should not be charging you, the consumer, who already paid them for a service, to send your book back in again to have the service rendered that you paid for the first time. So, yeah, I'm not having it. Now, number 2 is that you're actually unlikely to win, and for the most part, by this I mean it's not going to be a moneymaker for you. The amount of 9.9s like this one, they're going to be pre-screened and actually get a 9.9. It's going to be a fraction. That's just the way it is, right? Because every time you go up a grade, regardless of if it's by 1, a 0.5 or a 0.1 in this case, which, again, how does that make sense? But anyway, anytime you go up a grade, there's going to be it's going to be significantly less comics in that condition, because it's rarer for comics to be in mint condition, right? I mean, they survived being in a shop, or they survived being in a rack, or they survived being in the mail, they survived being sent to CGC, they survived signatures, they survived whatever, right? So yeah, it's magnitudes less 9.9s than there are going to be 9.8s. And so you're going to have to send in a boatload of 9.8s to be able to get a 9.9. Because the rate's going to be, we've seen numbers so far, and it's under 10%. And, I think it's around 4 or 5%, somewhere in there, 3%, around that ballpark, around 4%. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that number holds up or even goes down. But that, 4% of your books, you're sending in 96 of them, and they're coming right back to you, and you still paid the money for those. So, yeah, do I think you're going to get your money back? I think it's like buying a lotto ticket. If you hit a home run with somehow we hit a home run with the giant size X-Men #1 that Comic Connect sold, that was a 9.9 that had a spine tick. I mean, you get a book like that, you can hit a home run on. But for the vast majority of the time, you're going to be sending in modern books or new books, and there's not going to be the value of that book that's going to recoup the cost that you spent to get so many of them graded. Does that make sense? So maybe you do hit a 9.9 in this book, but the 9.9 price, especially, here's the other thing: the longer it goes on, the less valuable 9.9s become, because basic supply and demand. Right? There's more supply of 9.9s. So the price is going to not going to justify the 9.9 price of a 9.9 is not going to justify the sheer amount of books you have to send in and the cost of this sending in to get that 9.9. unless of course you hit a Grail book, like an older Grail book, like that giant size X-Men one, or let's say a 9.9 Avengers one, or whatever it is. Does that make sense? And the chances of you hitting a 9.9 on those books are are ridiculously low. At least you would think. You would think that. The other reason I think you're going to lose is the amount of time it's going to take. Books get even pre-screened. It's quicker than getting them graded, but again, opportunity cost. So you could be, that's money that you have tied up in these books, thinking that you might get a hit or a home run on a 9.9, when you could have that money invested somewhere else that's making a return, or basically, like a stock that'll pay you dividends, or you could be putting that money in a different asset, or be putting that money to work. So opportunity cost, but also the risk of the time. So the market moves, and if you're looking to flip a 9.8 to a 9.9 and you set it in a CGC, and by the time you get it back and it is 9.9, the market's moved down. Especially like I mentioned, the amount of 9.9s is only going to go up. So the value of your comic went down. So maybe you lose money or break even, which is not where you want to be. So I just don't think you win in this scenario most of the time. Again, I like it to the lottery ticket. Can you win? Sure, but the vast majority of people, in my opinion, are probably going to lose, at least monetarily. The other thing why I don't think you're going to win is, at the end of the day, even if you get a 9.9, that's not the highest grade. Well, maybe it's the highest grade for the book, but it's not the highest grade that exists. And because we all know there's a grade after 9.9, and that's what we're going to talk about next. And before we hit number one, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you're notified of when new videos like this come out. But let me know, what do you think of the content you found on this channel? Really appreciate your feedback. Really grateful that you're watching. And the number one reason why I'm not sending any books into CGC for a 9.9 pre-screen is because next thing you know, there's going to be a 10.0 pre-screen. Seriously, though. I mean, why wouldn't they? That's the next logical step in the progression. Oh, yeah, we have 9.8s pre-screen. Oh, how do we make more money? Oh, well, I got it. 9.9 pre-screen. Yeah. Well, we all know that's not the end of the road. 9.9 isn't the best grade. 10 is the best grade, right? Right? I mean, am I wrong? So what's going to prevent CGC from, next thing you know, oh, you know what? Next time we have a PR nightmare, next time, we have bad public sentiment, next time our rivals at CBCS or wherever announce something that'll maybe help take away market share, guess what we're going to trot out from the basement? Hey everybody, be excited. It's a 10 pre-screen. I mean, are you really thinking that's not going to happen? I mean, it might sound like conspiracy theory, but I think it's way more likely that that's going to happen. The chances of that are going to happen than not. I would say that, it's much more than 50% chance that that's going to happen. At least in my book. Especially because they're probably seeing how successful the 9.9 pre-screen is and how many people are sending in books and how much cheddar they're making, how much money they're making. I mean, it's only going to motivate them to do a 10 pre-screen, because they can make money not once off a book because you already sent it in and got the 9.8, not twice because you already sent it off and got the 9.9, well, most likely the 9.8, but let's say you got the 9.9. They're going to make you money off of you 3 times on the same book, because now you're going to send your 9.9 in for a 10 pre-screen. I mean, they're good. Please tell me in the comments, am I wrong? I feel like it's like Zoolander. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like I just don't understand. 10 pre-screen to me is just around the corner. Anytime they're going to do like a PR nightmare issue, or anytime they, just need a boost in the morale and in the goodwill of the company, or anytime they need cash, why wouldn't they? And I'm without a doubt, people are going to send in their books for the 10.0 pre-screen, because a 9.9 is better than a 9.8. Well, what's better than a 9.9? A 10. And as long as the 10, which it will be, 10 is more money than a 9.9, they're going to do it. And people are going to send them in. So, yeah. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. 10 pre-screen. That's what I'm predicting. And that's a big reason why I wouldn't bother sending in my books for a 9.9 pre-screen. If you really do want, your book to be the best copy as possible, which I get. There are people out there, and I'm the same way. That's why I buy 9.8s of newer books, is because I want the best condition possible. But to me, I would urge you to be patient, because I definitely think that a 10.0 is coming, a 10.0 pre-screen, and why wouldn't you, if you did want the best possible grade, actually try to get the best possible grade and wait for the 10.0 pre-screen to come out if and when it does. That being said, I don't know for sure that's happening. Obviously, I don't have any insider information. I'm just anticipating, projecting, predicting, but I think it's right around the corner. What are the chances I just gave him the idea for the 10 pre-screen? Sorry. What do you think? Are you setting in your books for 9.9 pre-screen? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time.